In today's video, I'll be showing you how I built my son's bunk beds and sharing the best way to do it so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Let's get started. First things first, I need to head over to Menards to pick up supplies for the bunk beds. You might be wondering, why does he need so many sheets of plywood?
Oh, I missed.
Well, the reason is I'm planning a complete remodel of the boys' bedroom. Some of the plywood's going to be used for floating shelves with built-in LED lights, and some of it's going to be used for new window jambs in the room. If you're interested in seeing the other parts of their bedroom remodel, be sure to check out those videos after this one. So I started by measuring and cutting the first set of boards for the bed supports, which will make up the frame for each bed. But as I was working, I ran into a bit of an issue with my track saw.
Something's wrong.
The blade kept sticking to the track, which was really frustrating and definitely slowing me down. But instead of letting it stop me, I decided to keep pushing through. Sometimes you just have to work through the setbacks and keep moving forward, even if things aren't going perfectly. Next, I double-checked all my measurements for the ladder supports to make sure that everything was accurate. I wanted to be sure that everything lined up perfectly before cutting. Once I was confident the numbers were spot on, I went ahead and started cutting the supports out.
Well, this is a problem.
However, trouble made another appearance because once again, my track saw was definitely not working right that day. It seemed like every time I tried to make a cut, it wasn't running smoothly. But as frustrating as it was, I just kept pushing through and tried to make the best of the situation. So I decided to retire the track saw for the time being and switch over to the chop saw. It just seemed like the better tool for the smaller cuts that I needed to make.
It's even got a picture of don't touch it with your hand. You have to.
I got to work cutting the pieces to length, and once that was done, I took a little time to organize everything by size. It definitely helped keep things more efficient as I brought the pieces into the room. Getting everything sorted before moving forward just makes the whole process go a lot smoother. Before we dive into building the bunk beds, the first thing I need to do is attach the main back piece to the wall. This piece will be nailed directly into the existing drywall, creating a solid foundation to work off of as I move forward with the build. By securing it to the wall first, I'll have a stable and reliable reference point for everything that comes next. Plus, it'll add a significant amount of extra support for the bunk bed structure once everything is in place, ensuring it's sturdy and secure for the long haul. Using the laser, I carefully mark out the exact locations on the wall where the beds will be placed. This helps ensure everything is perfectly aligned and positioned so that the beds fit seamlessly into the space. The laser makes it easy to get precise measurements and avoid any mistakes, setting me up for success as I continue with the build. By the way, all the tools I'm using in today's build, including this laser, are listed down in the description below if you want to check them out. After the two bunks were fully built out, I started by attaching everything with nails to keep it in place. And then I went back and secured the pieces with screws to make sure everything was really solid.
Right now.
Or without the outside thing for right now. Once that was done, I moved on to the top bunk frame, but I quickly realized it was going to be a bit tricky to manage on my own. So I asked my cameraman and buddy Nick to help me hold the top bunk in place. It was definitely a two-person job. Having Nick there made all the difference in getting everything lined up and steady while we worked. Now I'm adding the skirt to the bed frame. This step is important not just for aesthetics, but it also added support and stability. I carefully measured each side and attached the skirt around the edges, making sure everything was perfectly aligned. By doing this, I'm giving the frame a polished and finished look while also reinforcing the other structure. It's a small detail, but it really helps tie everything together and ensure the bed frame is sturdy and well built. Right now, I'm building the ladder for the bunk bed. I started by assembling the rungs and attaching them to the legs, making sure that everything was secured using wood glue and nails. While I've built wooden and metal stairs before, I've never actually put it together a set of stairs for a bunk bed. So this is a fun new experience for me. It's been interesting figuring out the best way to design and assemble it. That said, as you'll see in just a moment, I did overlook one important detail when I was designing the bunk beds, which ended up being a valuable learning experience.
I forgot to account for the fan. It's gonna be a headache of a problem.
After a brief moment of wallowing in self-pity, I snapped out of it and started focusing on my next move. I needed to figure out how to make the ladder work with the design I had specifically planned for the room. The fan wasn't going to be an issue if I moved the ladder closer to the wall, so that's exactly what I did. Once I had the solution, I attached the ladder to the bed frame for added support and to provide a safe way to reach the top bunk without anyone losing their head in the process. Here's your pro tip for the day. When building a bunk bed, always take into account other factors and obstacles in the room. Things like furniture, windows, or even the ceiling height can impact your design and placement. Plan ahead to make sure everything fits perfectly and functions well in the space you're working in. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the video linked on screen next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.